English Broken Businesses. We are all about Black excellence, bringing local entrepreneurs together to inspire and motivate you through business.
So it's simple. What you can do is to listen to this story and be inspired and show to you guys nothing is impossible. If they can do it, so nathi singayenza abantwana basekhaya. Sit down and chill and listen to this wonderful story.
Follow your dreams.
Because the story is being told.
Of course.
But we're not necessarily owning 100% of the story.
Yeah.
This is why we are printing our own things.
Yeah.
This is why this is my greatest pride.
English Broken Business. Today is a Women's Day and we are celebrating phenomenal women. And sifumane a phenomenal woman, Re'a. Re'a, tell me, who is Re'a?
Okay, so my name is actually Nolitha Qhuma.
Okay.
And Rea'Nubia is the brand. Nanolita, personally, I am a Black woman.
Yes.
With a fashion brand. It has been my baby for a long time.
Yeah.
So it's really my pride and joy. Yeah. So now I'm born and raised in Khayelitsha,
Yeah.
Site B. I am the oldest of 3 girls.
Okay.
Dingumankazi of sweet, beautiful children.
Yes, of course, of course.
And also I'm the founder of this brand, where I get to serve my fashionistas
Yes.
with timeless pieces that accentuate their beauty and their power as beautiful African beings.
Yeah. Re'a, can you tell me, as you have explained who you are and where you're coming from, I just want to find out, where do you got this talent? When did you start to be in love with creating different pieces for different kind of people? Where did that passion begins?
When did the fashion bug bite me?
Yeah. Oh, you call it a bug.
Actually, I've always been into fashion.
Yeah.
I did my primary school up in Lokshini.
Okay.
And high school. And then I didn't know it was called fashion. I didn't
Okay.
know it was a thing where you could get paid for it.
Okay.
Yeah, but also abantu that I went to primary school with, they would remind me that I used to draw clothes for them.
Yeah.
During break, abanye abantu be busy screened.
Yeah.
In my time, I was like screened.
Okay.
And then I'd be busy drawing and sketching beautiful clothes, what I thought was beautiful clothes.
Yeah.
Now when I think about it, everything was just out of proportion
Yeah.
and messed up. But at the time, as a little child, it was beautiful, it was fashion, and everyone was responding well to it. It is only when I got to high school, I think in grade 11,
Yeah.
which must say a lot about our education system, where I realized, but when a teacher told me, because I did needle work at school, and then she was like, you know, you could be a fashion designer.
Yeah.
I think it was grade 11. I'm like, what the flip is a fashion designer?
Yeah.
And then she explained. I'm like, but
I think
I can get paid for
Yeah.
this? And then she was like, yeah. And I think that's what you should study.
Sure.
And I've always been someone who was artistic. I've always loved telling stories through the sketches of the clothes that I make and other forms of art, like performing arts and stuff. So it's always been there. I just didn't have a name for it.
Yeah.
And then when I did finally understand that it could be a career, it's the thing that I went for in tertiary.
Okay. So when did you start to see that you own a passion, as you said, that you've been doing this since grade 12? But when was that turning point for you, and then you said, you know, I'm gonna stick on this. I'm gonna go for it, because you know, most when we choose career, we face challenges, financial challenges. We face supporting system, because most of people, they don't believe with dreams it. So when was your turning point that you said, you know what, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna stick on this throughout the challenges?
I think, like I said, in the York study fashion, it was just I made that decision. Galamzuzu.
Yeah.
It's one thing to make a decision, and it's another to make it every day and be consistent. So I applied for tertiary institutions, And because I decided this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I enjoy this. I could live my purpose through fashion.
Okay.
So I decided and then I did my first year in a private institution.
Okay.
Cape Town College of Fashion Design. It was very expensive.
Of course.
At the time, it was one of the best in the continent.
Yeah.
So I had to have a full-time job while also studying,
Yo.
which it was
Yes.
very tough.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we have to sacrifice. I think that was your moment of sacrificing.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I've been sacrificing ever since.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Business is not
Yeah,
easy.
Of course, business is not easy. Tell me, Ria, you as we were communicating, you once told me about the COVID. To understand, how did COVID hit you? How did COVID change the way you see things? Tell me more about COVID in terms of the business.
Yes. I'm a creative entrepreneur.
Yeah.
And that on its own had its own challenges. It had its own challenges even with how it was handled by our government as far as trying to assist artists. So my story is not unique. I also struggled. But in the midst of that, I made conscious decisions to look for work.
Yeah.
For instance, we never closed our doors, and I'm still very grateful to God for that.
Yeah.
We never closed our doors. I didn't fire anyone.
Yes.
So you had to think on your feet as you do in business all the time, but this was unique. It was a massive thing. It was big, and the places that we supplied, like we supplied a shop in town, closed down, and another one we were brand new in that store. The store itself was new in Stellenbosch. It closed down, so now we have no place to supply, and people are not getting married the usual way. There are no matric born kids, so all our sources of income, the taps have run dry, and people are just going for the needs, for food, for basic things. So I was always just out there looking for schools, whatever we can supply, whatever place we can supply for is much. So that's what we did. And then there were people just making pieces. I mean, I am so grateful for my clients, because my clients came through. People wanted to have things altered, those kind of things. So we were able to survive.
Yeah, through it all.
We were able to survive. It was definitely not easy, and there had to be changes. It was a huge challenge financially for me, especially for me, because I was responsible for people, and I had to put my team first at times. They would get paid, I wouldn't get paid.
Of course.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, sure.
So it was really, really tough, but it's a conscious decision that I made, that I'm going to make sure that we get the work, and my business is definitely not going to close. I'll do whatever I have to do, and I did, and we did get the work here and there, and we survived.
How do you keep up with this spirit, this positive spirit? How do you keep up with it? Because the more I talk to you, you're so positive. You are out there. Do you understand? Through it out. How do you keep up with this positive spirit? What make you to be this positive woman?
Well, obviously, I'm not on drugs, so I'm not always on a high.
Not on a high note, by the way. Yes.
I'm joking. Yeah. So, entrepreneurship is tough, right? But it's not something I did being completely clueless of the challenges that may come. Yeah. Right? So I made the decision to take the career path that I took. Yeah. I had a conviction that is something that I had to do, and I understood that at the core of it was women empowerment.
Yes.
So knowing that you're not just responsible for yourself, but responsible for other people and their families, because people have to feed their kids. That thing, even when I don't want to wake up, that sense of responsibility, for my own family as well, it wakes me up in the morning. Seeing umama on the street selling amagwinya, seeing women just refusing to give up, seeing my mother refusing to give up is inspiration. You know what I'm saying? And also my faith, at the core of me, I know that God has created us all.
Yeah.
And therefore, we are all capable and able to do great things.
Yes.
So at the core of me, I know
Yeah.
that truth, and I
Sure.
refuse to let go of it.
Yeah.
But there are times when it's really, really tough, and even I'm like in a little dark
Yeah.
corner. But I'm also very grateful for the circle of associates and friends that would
course.
come through at the
Yeah.
right time.
Of course.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, if you associate with yourself with positive people,
Yes.
of course, with positive mind, you become the greatest person through that positive thoughts
Greatest
around you.
version of
Yes.
yourself.
Tell me, who's Ria now? Who's Ria? Because won't break print zakho. You know, who?
I was not bragging.
No, it's
I was
good.
just mentioning it.
No, it's good. You know, I'm wearing Ria even now. So tell me who's Ria now. To understand, tell me who's Ria. This
So what do
Ria.
I mean by Rea'Nubia is what you want to
Yes,
ask.
yeah.
Okay, so Rea'Nubia obviously means African. So
Yeah.
my brand celebrates all that is,
Yeah.
all that was, and what could become of Africa and Africans.
Aula.
You know, yeah. I'm celebrating the glory that is us.
Yes.
So it could be, the inspiration could be something that inspired me in the now.
Yeah.
It could be something that happened in the past.
Yeah.
It could be our art. It could be our architecture. It could be just human beings,
Yeah,
beautiful
yeah.
black people living in this continent and making things work.
And
you
from
know.
Khayelitsha.
You know what I'm
In the
saying? And not just
township, yeah.
Khayelitsha, but other townships. Our
Yes.
refusal to give up
Up. Yeah.
on life. I mean, our resilience is my greatest inspiration.
Oh, Ria. Hey, yabona inspiration. Ngihlale lapho, mina ngihlale lapho. Guys, this is so inspiring. I like this, you know. I can say you are a phenomenal woman, Ria. And keep it up and keep it up and keep on inspiring these young girls out there, because it's not about just today, about this month celebrating women, you know.
Yes.
Like when young children who are growing up, when they look at you, they must feel inspired, you
Yes.
know. Just keep on being like that. Ria, where do you see yourself? Like uzibona ukuphi, Ria? You know, where do you see yourself in the township, outside the township, outside the continent, outside the world? Where do you see yourself?
Okay, the brand itself, like I said, Ria is slang for real. Maybe
Yeah.
Africans or really African-inspired clothing. I want to tell beautiful stories of our
Yeah.
continent and our people to the world. That's at the core of our business.
Yes.
We want to celebrate and tell beautiful African stories, a beautiful narrative, a truthful narrative
Yeah.
that we get to own
Sure.
and give to the world through our art.
Yeah.
You know, here at Rea'Nubia. So I see myself dominating a more AFI, Africa Fashion International.
Ow.
Start at home. There, we want to be there.
Yeah.
Home
And
is
you're
very,
gonna be
very-
there.
Come on now.
Ow.
Yes. So our AFI, there's also South African Fashion Week, and there are other fashion weeks outside outside the country, but
Yeah.
inside the continent. And of course, we want to be in Paris.
Yeah.
We want to be in Paris. We want to be in New York.
Yes.
We want to be the Africans owning our stories on the runway and be the designers behind that story.
Yes.
Because the story is being told.
Of course.
But we're not necessarily owning 100% of the story.
Yeah.
This is why we are printing our own things.
Yeah.
This is why this is my greatest pride, printing my own print
Yes.
and having it out there, having my own design, owning the process of production. That's
Sure.
also very important to me,
Yeah.
because it means employment for who?
Yeah.
For our people.
Yeah.
So at the core of us, we want to make sure that when we produce here
Yes.
human beings that live in our country, that live in our continent, that get to wake up in the morning and feed their children, and their children are inspired, like I was inspired by my mother, so that can spark in them that as a woman, now you can work.
Yes.
Watching your mother work, now you can work and your dreams are valid.
Yeah. Ria, what do you want to say to a young girl out there who has been abused, who have said to herself that, you know what, I can't do it, who has been raped, who has been taken her pride, to understand the fact that she went through all of that? What do you want to say to that woman, to that young girl out there?
There's life.
Yeah.
There is more to life than existence.
Yeah.
There is more to life than survival. there is the beauty of choosing to live. Now, it's easier said than done.
Yes.
And the things that you just mentioned, there is no South African woman who is not affected by rape.
Yes. Indirect
or abuse.
Yes.
Indirect or directly.
Yes.
Abuse, rape, we all know someone who's been raped.
Of course.
I could be sitting here and I could be a victim, you wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We all go through these things. But we stem from powerful women.
Yeah.
Be inspired by women that lived before us.
Of course.
Be inspired by women who are strong, women who continue to dream. And your dream, your vision can save your life. For me, now I came from Khayelitsha, Side B.
Yes.
We're surrounded by crime. We're surrounded by drugs.
Yes.
We're by all sort of things.
Yeah.
But what made me choose life,
Yes.
was me believing in my dream.
Yeah.
Believe that your dream is valid.
Yeah.
Hold on to your dream. Do not care who says what. Hold on to your dream and work at it. The more you work, the more of a reality it becomes, and things will fall into place somehow, as long as you choose purpose.
Yeah, guys, Ria has just closed it, has said it all. I have no words. Let's find out Uri ufumane kaphi and how can you buy his clothes? Her clothes.
I was about to say her.
I mean, it's a woman's month. How can I say
How
he?
dare you?
That's why we call this program English Broken Business.
Anyway, so Nolitha Qhuma on Facebook, Rea'Nubia on Facebook.
Okay.
This is the spelling. REA.
Come closer.
NUBIA. That is who we are on Facebook, on Instagram. And our number on WhatsApp, because we do also take orders on WhatsApp, is 078
Yeah.
490
Sure.
7232. Currently,
Yes.
we are looking for someone to assist us with social media and marketing.
Okay.
We have
There's
a post.
opportunity for you.
Holla at us.
There's opportunity for you,
Grow
guys.
with us.
Hola.
There's potential here.
Yes. There's no potential. There's growth here.
Come on now.
Ow, guys. This is what I like to do, man. This is what I call it English Broken Business. I missed you so much. I am back. And I am back with Ria. Thank you so much, Ria. Thank you for inspiring me on this day. Thank you so much.
And thank you for having me. Happy Women's Month, ladies.
Happy Women's Month.